and welcome back to another episode of Adobe presented by the Boynton Beach City Library. So we are continuing our series of working inside Adobe Photoshop and just showing you a few of the different things that you can do with this tool. Today we're going to be showing you how to create multiple strokes of text and how to do this in a non-destructive way so that if you need to edit your text, you can do so without having to restart from square one. So as always, our first step to getting started is to create a document. So I'm going to go to File, New, and then I'm just going to do a square image, this 1000 by 1000, which I found by going to Art and Illustration right here. Create. And then we have our blank document. So the first thing I'm going to do is choose a color background for my document. I'm going to select the rectangle tool right here and draw out my document background. And then go to Appearance to change the color. So I will choose pink, why not? And then you see it automatically gave me these rounded corners up here. I don't want that. So I go down here to Appearance again, and I just decrease these to 0, which then makes it just a normal square background. And then I'm going to delete this white background because I don't need it. So I have to unlock it first and then delete. Next, I'm going to add my text. So I go over here to the Type tool, but actually first what I'm going to do is create a folder to put all of my text in. And I'm going to call this Text Layer. And then with this selected, you then go to your Type tool and type out your text. And it popped up really big, but don't worry, we can change it later on. So I'm just going to do Libraries Rock, because they do. And then once I have my text, I'm going to resize it to fit my document and center it right here. And this step, all these things I'm doing are just basically setting up my specific document I'm making. You don't have to do it the exact same way to achieve the same end result. And so now that I have my text, I'm going to start the process of adding effects. But actually first, I would like to make this different. So 1 second. There we go. Type tool. First, I'm going to just adjust the spacing between my letters, which I do right here. So I do it like that. And then from here, like that. Awesome. So now that I have this, I'm going to go to my folder right here, unselect the text, click my folder, and then click this effects button here at the bottom, blending options. And then from here, with my layer selected, I'm going to start adding my effects. So I have stroke selected, and so first I choose my color that I want. So we'll do a white, okay? Then you adjust your size, and it's important to note here that you want the position to be outside, because if it's inside, it's gonna look a little bit strange. So I have the position as outside, I have my color, and that looks good to me. And you'll see here there's 3 other strokes beneath. I kind of just did that when I was making the example earlier on. But to add additional strokes, so I just deleted these so I can show you from the start. You just click this plus button and that will allow you to add a second stroke. So now that that is created, I'm going to add my second stroke. And I will do maybe an orange just to see how that looks. And then make the size big enough. And you can make the stroke size however big you want depending on the type of style that you're going for. So I'm going to do a slightly larger second stroke and a smaller inner stroke. So that's good. And then if I wanted to add one more final stroke, you just hit that plus button again. And then we choose our stroke. So I'm actually going to go back to blue and maybe do this light blue right here. And then once again, make it big enough for the stroke to be seen. And so that is all of my colors. Sorry, it's pretty bright. This is just an example. So now that I have all of my strokes together, the next step I'm going to do as just like a little something extra is to add a drop shadow. So I go down here to drop shadow, and it actually looks like it's pretty much already set, but just to show you how I got to this, I'm just going to reset it to the default. I like to use the blend mode multiply, and then from there you just adjust the distance, the spread, the size, and the size is where you really get it to be blurry. So we make the size, a bit bigger, and then we can adjust the distance and the spread. And you just kind of do this until you like how it looks. And then up here you can adjust the opacity too, and then this is your spread angle. So I'm actually going to do 120, like that. And then let me finesse these just a bit more. And this is just to give it, that nice lift. So I like how that looks, so that's cool. And that is essentially how you would do it. The great thing about doing it this way, basically applying it to the folder instead of to the individual text, is that I can edit these things and have it not be destructive. So if I wanted to change the wording to Boynton Beach, I can do so without having to basically restart from scratch. And at the same time, I still have the ability to adjust all of my options. So I can, make this smaller. I can make the height not as extreme. It basically allows you to edit it however, without starting from scratch, which is great. And another cool thing about this too, I'll leave this up. If I were to go to the paint tool, which is this one right here, and I have to select my folder first. One second. This should be it. Let me move this out real fast. And then create a new layer. There we go. So if I were to do that, I can make this a little bit bigger. Select my layer again. And I can paint using that stroke. So let me make this much smaller just so you can see better. So yeah, so you can actually paint with this stroke and drop shadow style as well. Bad heart, there you go. And so that's pretty awesome. And you can do that, you know, without having to adjust anything because you applied it to the folder instead of to the individual layer. So let me move my text back in here and you'll see it just pops right up like that again, which is awesome. And as always, when you're finished with this, you just export it and save it, and then you're good. So thank you all for listening. I hope that this was helpful to you as you learn to do just one more thing with Adobe Photoshop. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them on this video, and we will definitely answer back and try and help you the best we can. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.